I'm starting to see why you have a 30% show rate. Bro, by the very nature of what you do, you work with people that are, you can't tell me the top 3 objections you get? Serious? Oh, the dreaded something like that phrase. Brother, tell me what you sell, your monthly revenue, and your profit.
So I have an Amazon FBA offer. I do about 30 to 40K per month. Profit is about 20K.
And this is a business opportunity. You're teaching people how to create Amazon businesses, or you're helping people with existing Amazon businesses?
Yeah, teaching new people how to start the business.
Where are you trying to get to in terms of your, where do you want to be in terms of your monthly revenue?
I'd like to get past 100K per month. 200K would be like my first goal.
Now, your monthly revenue is 30 to 40, your profit's 20. So this is an info business, correct?
Yeah.
Why such little profit?
I think because of ads, never really cracked how to make them super effective.
And who exactly do you help?
Busy 9-to-5ers are looking for maybe an alternate source of income.
Okay, so you don't have a clearly defined audience. It's just random people that want to make money. You're not helping like a specific avatar.
Yeah, I would say it's more broad.
Yeah, so that's one of the first issues. Years ago, I knew this girl who made a lot of money selling a branding course. This girl made a lot because she sold it to feminists. She had blue hair, was always like talking about anti-man stuff, independent woman stuff. And so she wasn't just selling branding, she was selling a way to be independent as a female and not rely on a man, which is a much stronger proposition than just making more money. And so the first issue I see is you don't have an actual audience that you can get to resonate with you. You take something about yourself that is relatable to an audience, that's your audience. So maybe it's the fact that you're a single father. You used to be in prison. I help people who used to be in prison create a legitimate income and not have to rely on a boss. I mean, these are how you define audiences. So that's the first issue I see. Do you feel me on that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your process. So you help people build Amazon private label businesses. Can you just expand on that a little bit?
Private label is when you sell your own brand of products on Amazon. And so I essentially help them find the opportunities, work with suppliers, improve them a little bit, and then list them and sell them in an effective way on Amazon. So you're essentially building your own brand of products. Your
offer currently is you have a course plus coaching plus one-on-one. So straight info business, correct?
Yeah.
And that's $5,800. How many did you sell last month?
I would say probably 5.
Okay. And you want to launch a new offer. And I'm imagining, we talked a little bit about this off camera, but you're saying it's a new offer. To me, it sounds like you just want to tweak the existing offer. And so tell me a little bit about this new offer.
So the big place that I see everybody struggling with is the product. To go through product research could be very long. It's very difficult. And solving that hardest problem for people and kind of delivering that to them and say, hey, just sell this, massively cuts the time down. And also you could charge way more for it.
What I'm hearing is there's an issue, a problem in your business. The problem is that it costs too much to acquire a customer. Am I on the right track so far?
Yeah, I would say that's one of the problems.
But is that the main problem?
I think the main problem is I'm getting burned out working with everybody one-on-one.
That's a symptom of the problem, okay? The problem is that you're spending too much to acquire a customer, and then the delivery is burning you out. Thus, you have less energy to acquire more customers. Is that a little bit more specific?
Yeah.
So I'm hearing I need to tweak the fulfillment so I don't get burned out, but I'm also hearing I need to lower my cost per client acquisition, correct?
Yeah.
So your solution to this is to modify the offer to more of a done for you type of thing. And the hardest part of the business you're going to do for them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That addresses the I'm burnt out problem, but how does that address the cost per client acquisition problem?
I don't think it does. I think it's more of a that would be a much more expensive offer. So I would work with somebody that has more money and maybe current business owners or something like that versus just a beginner. Oh,
the dreaded something like that phrase. This is, that's when you know you haven't thought it through. Something like that. Okay. Let's think it through on this call. So let's talk about how you get clients now. How many different channels of client acquisition do you have? Just one, or do you have several?
Yeah, just one. So I run Meta ads.
So Facebook ads, and you're spending charging $10,000 to $12,000 a month. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get some metrics here. What is your cost per call?
It's about $175.
Okay, so $175 cost per call. What is your show rate?
Show rate is like 30%.
30%. Okay. And what is your close rate of the people that show? What is your close rate?
It's about 30%.
Whoa. What do you mean about 30%?
So it's like 28%.
Okay. And you know this how? You track this?
Track it. Yeah.
Okay, good. So 28%. On a $5,800 offer. Not incredibly bad. The 28% conversion rate, close rate is not bad, right? It's not like I'm going to write my mother about it and be like, hey, I met this guy who has this great close rate. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like the very first problem we should solve. The show rate is a little bit low. You want to be at least over 50%, preferably, obviously, 75 to 80%. So how do you ensure they show up?
I have pre-call emails. I send texts from my personal cell phone, which is an iPhone, so that they show blue.
Perfect. How quickly do you do that?
So I was doing it day before the call.
Oh, you don't do it within a couple minutes of them booking the call?
No, that I have automation, like emails that go for that. I've been texting like day before.
Okay, I want you to start texting them as soon as they book a call. And here's why. There's a few reasons. Number one, it's better because they're hot. They just booked the call and they want to solve the problem. So it's on their mind, right? Mm-hmm. What you want to avoid is what I call the dog pisses on the floor phenomena. People have a lot of problems in their life. They don't just have one.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking about solving a problem, I'm thinking about solving a problem right now. But if several hours goes by, the dog could piss on the floor. And if the dog pisses on the floor, now I'm concerned about cleaning up the floor, possibly getting new carpet. The point is that other problems happen. So you got to reach out to them and establish communication and at least a little bit of rapport while that's present in their mind. Also, you can qualify them. So I'll give you an example. If you get a call that is not qualified and that sits on your calendar for 3 days, taking up space that could be taken by a qualified call, you won't know that. And so when you reach out to them, you can quickly just double check to make sure they're qualified, whatever qualification questions you have. And if they're not qualified, just cancel the call and open that space up for better quality calls. Did you get me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the first thing. Second thing is your pre-call emails. Are you showing testimonials, case studies, tangible examples, screenshots of Amazon sales, or are you just like, don't forget to join the call?
Yeah, I was sharing testimonials.
But are you getting hyper specific? For instance, an email, something like subject line, this product sells 3 times more than the rest. Something very specific. And then you have a screenshot and you're like, hey, John, we have a call coming up on Tuesday. I wanted to share this quick screenshot with you. This one product converts triple any other product on my store. And believe it or not, this is the product responsible for the rest of my product sales because this is the one most people buy. And so when they buy this, they keep buying more. Let me tell you a little secret, John. Finding that winning product, the product that actually is responsible for the majority of sales on your store, that's the difference between somebody who has an Amazon store that makes pocket change and the ones that completely radically transforms their life. Then you can say, like Mary here, who insert testimony. Anyway, just wanted to share that. Can't wait to talk to you about this on our call on Tuesday. Do you have any emails like that?
No, not like
okay,
that.
So you don't have any good emails.
Right.
Okay, I'm starting to see why you have a 30% show rate. Okay, you need good emails to excite them. You're creating curiosity loops. You're like, hey, there's this concept. And when you understand this concept, amazing things happen. I'm not going to go super deep right here, but we're going to talk about this concept on the call. Well, now it's like, well, now I want to make sure I join the freaking call.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The $175 cost per call, again, isn't terrible for a $5,800 product. I'd like to see it a little bit better, but it isn't terrible. All right, I'm going to take a look at your ads, your funnel here in just a second. But what would you say your biggest challenges are quickly in your words?
You know, I haven't really been able to create a consistent and repeatable way to generate sales calls, generate clients.
What else?
I think that the market with like Amazon FBA courses in general, it's really saturated. It's hard to stand out regardless of my success or my student's success?
That's because you're selling it to everybody. You have not picked your person.
Yep. Okay.
Once you pick your person, this market saturation stuff becomes, especially in business opportunity, it becomes largely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because now instead of selling more of a saturated offer, you're simply finding more of your person.
Got it.
You got to find your person. Okay. What else?
Kind of burning out from working with like beginners going from 0 to 1. You know, I feel like I do a lot more mindset coaching than teaching Amazon.
I hate to tell it to you, but what do you think I do?
Yeah, for sure.
Here's the deal. And this is a mindset shift you need to have. My father, I remember, he is one of the most legendary program directors in Clear Channel broadcasting history. Yeah. He's won 6 Addy Awards. There are blogs and websites that are dedicated to telling the story and the history of my father in the broadcasting industry. He was that good. He was that legendary. He had that much clout in that space. He, until I retired him, delivered pizza. Once he got out of the broadcasting industry, he didn't make enough money to build any sort of nest egg or create any type of wealth, and he ended up delivering pizza. When I was a kid, he started a printer cartridge refill business, because this was a thing back then. People would want their printer cartridges refilled because it was cheaper than buying new cartridges, so he had a refill business. That didn't work out. He then started a franchise, a Subway franchise, Subway sandwiches, with my mom and him. That didn't work out. So you have a sandwich shop, you have a printer refill business, very talented man, and still, all of these things that happened, he still never made a lot of money. It's because, bro, it is very difficult to make a lot of money with the business. You're in the info game. You have the ability in this space to print cash unlike any other business on earth. Unless you're like, Johnny Cochran and you can charge $1 million per client as a lawyer, but then you got to go to 8 years of law school and this and that. The shift I want you to have is you are literally in the easiest business to make money. This concept of I'm burnt out because I have to answer stupid questions, you got to get rid of that, bro. Would you rather be in a normal business where it's like 1,000 times harder and you make 100 times less money, but you don't have to answer stupid questions? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I can help you solve all these other problems, but that problem, you honestly, man, and I've been through it, I know, I hate answering stupid questions. Like, to me, it's kind of stupid that I have to tell you that you need to pick a certain audience.
Yeah.
Like, everyone should know that. But there are so many people out there that don't, because sometimes we're just blind to it. You just got to pick up your balls on this particular issue and just do it anyway. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This one. Okay. But the rest of the stuff we're going to solve. You want to make $100,000 a month, right? But you're only making 20. So how's your life going to be different if you make 100 versus 20?
Obviously the financial stuff is good, but it's more about me realizing my potential. If I'm being honest, I just know I'm capable of those things. I know that that's hard to do. And so that's why I want to do it. I have 3 kids now, and I just want to show them building your own thing is okay to do. You can create a life for yourself.
So what I hear is you want your kids to look up to you.
I want them to have a good example that it's okay to jump off the ledge.
I can resonate with that. I constantly think about, does my kid look up to me? More than just the money. Also in how I show up as a husband, a father, and just a person. So I can definitely resonate with that. Well, let's make it happen. Let's take a look at your funnel first, then I'll take a look at your ad. Want to ethically steal the exact Amazon system busy professionals are using to quietly build 6-figure incomes in 2025. I don't think the headline sucks. I think it's decent. Without quitting your job, working 24/7, or needing prior experience. So the without, where are these objections coming from? So the objections I'm hearing in this headline are, well, I don't want to quit my job. Well, I don't want to have to work all the time because I already have a job. Where are you getting these objections from? Sales calls?
I would say so. Most people like.
What do you mean you would say so? Is that where you got it from, or did you just randomly come up with this?
I don't know if they come specifically from sales calls, but from talking to people and knowing like the types of people that do this. Most people are scared of tech. Hey, do I have to be really good on a computer? That would be no.
Okay, but hold on. This is how you make great copy, right? This is important. So, how many sales calls have you done total?
Probably taken over 2,000 sales calls for this.
Okay, so you take for this particular offer, 2,000 sales calls.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've taken 2,000 sales calls for this offer, yet you're not leveraging the objections you've heard on those calls. You're just leveraging random people you've talked to or what you think the market is thinking? You're not directly referencing the objections you heard systematically on those calls?
I would say these are some of those objections.
So they do match.
Yeah.
Okay. So if
People
I
are
said,
doing
show
it.
me a data sheet of the number one reason why people don't buy, you're telling me the top three are going to be, I don't want to quit my job. I don't want to work 24/7. I don't have prior experience.
No.
So then what are the top three?
I don't have the money.
Well, that's what I call a universal objection.
Yeah.
I don't have the money. That doesn't count. That's always an objection. Forget universal objections. I don't have time. I don't have money. Universal objections. I need tangible as it relates to the offer objections.
One would be towards the product. I have no idea what to sell.
Okay. No idea what to sell. Okay. What else?
Can I do it in my spare time? Is it a thing I could do like an hour a day or something like that?
So time required. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is more of a question rather than I don't have time. Okay, fine.
Okay.
What's the third one?
Having trouble thinking about as far as pertaining to the offer.
What do you mean? You've done 2,000 sales calls. You can't tell me the top three objections you get? You fucking
it's
serious?
more about I don't have the money or capital to invest in the opportunity.
If you've done 2,000 sales calls, you know what a universal objection is.
Yeah.
Set that to the side. What are the top three objections that directly relate to the opportunity?
Most are around the product. How do I find it? Once I find it, how do I know if it's going to work?
Okay. I don't know what to sell. I don't know if it will sell, and I don't know if I have the time required. For this, I might split test this page with, even if you don't know what to sell, have a limited time, and aren't sure if your products can scale or something like that, right? Test these things. Like for instance, right now, do you have an active split test on this page with a different headline?
No.
Okay, that's you're breaking marketing rule number one.
Okay.
Right? Always have an active split test with a difference in headline. Okay? So let's take a look at your actual sales presentation here, your video.
Amazon sold over $628 billion last year, and over 60% of those sales came from third-party sellers just like me. And what's even better is that those numbers have been rapidly growing year after year since 2012, and they're showing no signs of slowing down. But you already know that selling on Amazon is the best online opportunity right now, and it's the fastest path for you to achieve your time, location, and financial freedom. You also know that most new sellers fail simply because they followed bad advice or made small mistakes that ultimately cost them their business. And what you're looking for is the right system to follow that gets results, as well as the right person to guide you through it step by step. No generic courses or theory, no throwing things against the wall and hoping that they stick, and no one-hit wonders that had one lucky month or one lucky product. Just proven strategies and personalized support from someone who's actually been successful with this business over the long term. My name is Joey C, and I've been successfully selling on Amazon for over 5 years. Back in 2020, I was able to quit my job to sell on Amazon full-time and have since sold over $6 million in my own Amazon business. I'm an active seller that's in the trenches and knows what's working right now. I also know how to manage the ups and downs of this business that happen from time to time, like when COVID hit or like that.
This video player right here, is this a trick or is this video almost over?
No, it's a trick.
Okay. All right. Because I was about to say, why is your VSL 30 seconds? Here's a few things right off the bat. You said, I've made $6 million, right? So let's go back to the very beginning of this.
Amazon sold over $628 billion last year.
This is your hook, right? Amazon sold over $628 billion last year. That's what I call a statement hook, or well, actually it's a statistic hook. But you gave a statistic like, oh, really? This is what a lot of people have heard though. They kind of, this hook has been used a lot. Amazon is blah, 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 whatever, right?
Yeah.
These are things people are used to hearing, right? Not saying it doesn't work, but if you want to stand out, we got to think of some unique hooks. So,
and over 60% of those sales came from third-party sellers just like me.
Okay, that's not bad, right?
And what's even better is that those numbers have been rapidly growing year after.
Okay, so what I would do is I would set yourself apart by showing that screenshot of 6 million in the first 5 seconds.
Okay.
Right? Do you know how many millionaires were made on Amazon in, say, 2024?
Like me personally?
Yes. Like, do you know that statistic?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, so let's say you start the video out with, did you know over 50,000 people became millionaires in 2024 alone by selling on Amazon? So you start with that. Now, me personally, I've done $6 million, and then you show the screenshot, right? And then you go into the rest of the video. This is that hook. This is the lead. Do you know what the difference between a lead, the story, the offer is in a VSL?
No.
Okay, so every VSL comes in 3 parts. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? The beginning is what hooks the audience. The middle is what you say to convince them to do what you want them to do. And the end is where you tell them what to do, book a call, okay? The best marketers in the world will take multiple versions of the beginning, or what we call the lead, and they will split test the video with different leads. So for instance, the bulk of your video could be the same, but you have an active split test going where the beginning of the video might be, did you know Amazon sold 628 billion last year? Well, I got 6 million of that, as you can see in this screenshot right here. If you're wondering, how can you start an Amazon business from scratch, find the right products to sell, and make sure that they will sell? Would you rather listen to someone who is failing at Amazon or someone who's made 6 million? My name is Joey C, and I'm about to share with you XYZ in this video, right? So that could be version 1. The next version could be something like, did you know this many people became millionaires on Amazon just last year alone? And the number one reason they did was because they found a winning product. Now, this is a screenshot from my Amazon store where I've done over 6 million. And I can tell you right now, 90% of my success came down to finding the right product. And I have over 200 clients I've worked with that have hit 6 figures with an Amazon store, and 90% of their success came down to finding the right product. So in this video, I'm going to show you, even if you're a beginner, even if you feel like you don't have enough time, and even if you really don't know what to sell, how to find that winning product so that you can start your Amazon store, right? So these are just different leads. Right now, you have one VSL, you have one headline. So let's just look at this strategically, right? You are paying $175 per book call.
Yep.
Okay. So that means that if you were split testing this headline constantly, do you think that you would find one that could shave 50, maybe even $100 off that cost per call?
Yeah.
Eventually, right?
Yep.
Now, if you tested the leads or different versions of your video sales presentation here, do you also think you can bring that down?
Yes.
So what this is these are 2 things, 2 major things that every top tier or really even medium tier marketer does to bring down their cost per client acquisition, which is a major problem in your business, but you're not doing them.
Right.
Right. So that right there is it. Like, I don't even got to watch the rest of this, look at nothing. I automatically know that. Right.
Yep.
So then you bring them to a type form. Yes, I've sold on Amazon. I've sold elsewhere. No, I'm brand new. Of these 3 right here, do you know the statistics? Do you know like what percentage choose each one of these?
I would say the 80% is C, and then 20% is split between A and B.
So the vast majority of the people visiting this page are brand new, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Now, if we were to say, okay, of all the people you've sold, what does that break down to? Would those numbers be similar?
I'd say 100% of people are brand new.
Oh, okay. So that means that you have got to focus everything you say on that exact person.
Okay.
Okay. So the people that you're attracting are primarily new to e-commerce. The people that you're selling are new to e-commerce. Everything you should do should be focused on that. Now, the people that buy, are they mainly men? Are they mainly women? Like, what is there any particular commonality? Are they single fathers with one leg? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Is there any commonality?
I would say mostly men.
Okay, so mostly men. All right. Any particular commonality deeper than that?
Like, they obviously want to make more money, but I think that it's more of having control, being able to dictate what they make.
But why? Like, when you're on these sales calls, I mean, do they want to buy new houses for their wives? Do they want a hotter wife? Like, like what the hell is the reason? You know what I mean?
Most of the time is people are burned out from their job. They're sick and tired of answering to their boss, and they want to make more money because they want a better lifestyle. So they're usually working their ass off trying to make somebody else happy, and they're not happy themselves.
And they're men. So what does that different life look like? Like, are they not appreciated by their wives? Are they not able to send their children to college? Like, what is one of the main things that they want in their life as a result of controlling their time, having more money?
Yeah, time and freedom. So they don't get to spend the time with their wife that they want to spend with them. They don't get to spend the time with their kids that they want to spend with them.
Okay, so are you married?
Yes.
Is there any backstory that you have in terms of your wife where this Amazon business sort of helped you improve your relationship?
Obviously, not being miserable from coming home from work and making 30 grand a year and just being miserable because I wasn't where I wanted to be in my life. So being able to crack the code and actually do the thing I said I was going to do, I think just improved
living
everything.
up to your promises, right? So how often in your marketing and your emails, et cetera, do you mention like, hey, look, if you're a man who's failing to live up to your promises, you want to give your family a good life, you want to be present with your wife, and you want to have good energy when you come home, but you can't because you have a dickhead boss who is ruining your life. So look, these Amazon stores, they're not just here to make you money. They're here to do all the things that more money gives you. That's more time with your kids. That's more time with your wife. That's a better marriage, right? And then maybe you tell a story of something that happened in your marriage. How often do you do these type of things?
Not as often as I should. So I talk more about like the opportunity of Amazon and like you could have time freedom, but definitely not specific like that.
Yeah, so you got to get specific because the more specific you are, like your market is wide, okay? Yeah. I mean, it's wide. You can afford to narrow it to increase the conversion. For instance, you're targeting busy professionals, right? Hey, do you have a good paying job, but it's sucking your soul? It's killing your marriage because it's absolutely causing you to be burnt out when you get home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What if you could quietly build an Amazon business that was equal to, if not greater than your current income so that eventually you could set up an exit plan, right? And that maybe that could be the whole concept here is like, you need an exit plan, right? But look, just like a monkey does not let go of one branch before he has a firm grip on the next, you have to have something that when you finally do exit, when you finally do quit your job, you have something that can replace it, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't want to quit your job, you don't need to, right? Or if you don't want to quit your job, it's something that you can build while having your job until eventually it just doesn't make any sense to have your job anymore, right? Like this is like the type of stuff that you have to come up with, like your exit plan. Plan your exit from the 9-to-5 grind. How do you do that? You build something that can replace what your boss is giving you now. But you have to build something that allows you to build while you work, not stop working and build. That's the beauty of Amazon, blah, 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 right? You need to use more language like this. Let's take a look at one of your ads. In your copy, you're making your whole shtick personal one-on-one mentorship, which is why you're burnt out because you're leading with that. You're basically saying, look, this is a competitive market, so I'm going to make my main thing that hooks my audience, hey, I'm different because I work with you personally, but that creates a built-in ceiling to your business. So let's look at the
Amazon needs more sellers. Amazon sold over $600 billion last year. But did you know that over 60% of those sales were from third-party sellers just like me? It's true. Amazon actually wants regular people just like me and you to sell and succeed on their platform.
I don't mind this.
They've built an entire infrastructure around things like warehousing, packing, picking, shipping, and even customer service so they can handle 80% of the workload for you. All you need to do is focus on selling a winning product. My name is Joey C, and over the past 5 years, I've sold...
Who does your video editing?
I found a video editor through a friend that does it.
Yeah, pretty good. I'll be honest with you. Some of my best ads, instead of this, are me like taking my phone, pointing it to my computer, I mean, like with my finger, you see this, like very, very real ads, which obviously is way quicker and less expensive than the type of ads you do. Have you tried doing those hyper realistic ads where you bring up your Amazon dashboard, you take your phone and you're like, you see this product right here? This product did over $85,000 for me last month. And the reason it did that was da-da-da-da-da. Have you tried that?
No.
So I would mix in some of those hyper realistic ads. They're more believable. They're more relatable. Here's what I'm seeing, bro. This is the only place I'm seeing you define a market. I listened to a bit of this. I didn't hear any pain points like, are you burnt out when you get home from work? And you realize that even if you work harder at your job, your paycheck doesn't really increase. Wouldn't you like something where if you put even one more hour of effort in, you actually got rewarded in more money? I'm not hearing any of this, you know? Yeah. So ultimately, a deep-rooted issue here is, and would improve your business if you had a hyper-defined market that could relate to you. However, let's set that aside and say, you don't do that. You still have so many things you can improve to get the cost per call down and the delivery better, right? You could split test way more ads with hyper realistic videos and angles. You are not split testing your page or your videos, which it's impossible for it not to reduce your cost. Are you running a variety of retargeting ads that have like student testimonials and things like this?
No, not right now.
Okay, so you don't have like your top 3 student video testimonials. You're retargeting people that perhaps visited this page but didn't book a call, or more important, your confirmation page, which you have right here, that didn't buy. So for instance, the maximum that you would have booked a call out is what, 7 days?
Yeah, I do like 3.
Okay, so you could create an ad where you say, booked a call within 30 days, exclude booked a call within 7 days. That means you're going to get people. I mean, honestly, I would just do the whole 30 days because if they have an upcoming call, it's still going to help. But you create an audience of booked a call within 30 days. That's people that landed on this page. Now you see these testimonials down here that you have right here. Yeah. Why aren't these running as retargeting ads to everybody that booked a call? So as they're waiting for their call, they're getting hit up with ads showing these people getting results. Why aren't you doing that?
Don't have a good answer.
I mean, bro, honestly, I know you think you need to make a massive offer change here. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think if you're going to make a change, it should be hyper focusing on an audience. But even if you didn't do that, there are so many basics here that you're missing that if you just did these things, you're going to massively improve your cost per acquisition, which means you're going to make more profit and you're going to be able to scale more. As per the delivery issue, why don't you just do group coaching calls once a week? Why do you have to do one-on-one?
Have really good success rate. And I feel like that's comes from me actually like getting in the trenches with everybody. You know what I mean? So
no, I get that. I really do. But you're baking in a ceiling to your business. So if you don't want to make more money, like what do you want to make? You want to make 100 grand?
Yeah, I would love to start there.
So that means you got to make at least 125, most likely, 120, 125 to net 100. That's if you fix all this stuff, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we do a little bit of math here and we take 125, we divide that by 5,800, that's 21 and a half new clients. So that's 21 clients and a midget, okay? Let's just call it 22, all right? So 22 clients per month. If right now I wave a magic wand and over the next 30 days you land 22 clients, is that going to destroy your life in terms of fulfillment?
No.
It's not.
No. So
you can take on 22 clients and do the one-on-ones and you're fine?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily want to keep doing that.
But that's what I'm saying is you're not fine then. It's going to ruin your life. What's the point of making money if you don't like what you're doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like you don't want to do this, correct?
Yeah, no, I don't. So
here's how you fix this, right? I do this in my mastermind. Like I figure out like, okay, when I get on these calls, because like we do a group call every week. And years ago, I even had a bigger mastermind. I had 100 people in my mastermind. And every week I did a call. And I found that I was getting the same questions asked over and over again. What we did was we took a type form and we made a list of all the major questions that I got asked. And we would say, okay, the day before you come on this coaching call, go fill out this form, submit your question the day before. That way, Dan has all the information he needs to answer it on the next day's call, right? So then what we would do is we would make conditions where when they filled out the form, there was options And depending on what options they chose, it would say, wait a minute, it sounds like your question is about this. Can you go to this link or this short training and see if it solves your problem? If it doesn't solve your problem, then continue and we'll answer it on the call. That reduced the questions that we had by 80%. 80%, okay? And so the point here is that there's something happening on these one-on-one calls that's getting your clients. And by the way, we didn't see a reduction in results, okay? So something's happening on these one-on-one calls that is getting your clients results. However, you're probably repeating these things over and over, correct?
Yes, but it's with the product. So the fact that I validate everybody's product and like really dive into that to make sure that it's not going to flop, I think is the sauce. And it's different for every single person, you know?
Okay, so if this circle here, can you see this circle?
Yeah.
If this circle represents everything you need to do to validate the product, right?
Yeah.
What percentage of this circle do you actually need to speak to that person? Like, is there anything that you can do or that they can do prior to speaking to you to get some pre-work done for this?
Yeah. And we do. You know, they get numbers, talk to manufacturers, like they get the things that, you know, I guess they need on their side, and then they send it to me, and then on my own time I do like dive into it and kind of do that, like not on a one-on-one call.
So what, bro, look, why don't you just do a weekly call? And look, do you know how to program a custom GPT?
No.
Go learn. You can go to ChatGPT. You can create what's called a custom GPT. You can teach that custom GPT your ideology on validating a product. You can then give it to your clients. They will talk to the custom chatbot as if it was you, which will help them get probably 80% of the way there. And then you can do a weekly call called product validation calls, right? So now every week there's a call. Everybody comes on for, say, I don't know, 10 minutes, right? 15 minutes, whatever. And I mean, even if it was 30 minutes and it was a 2-hour call, that's 4 people per week. If they did this prior to coming on the call and you had 30 solid minutes with them, could you help validate their product? Could you accomplish the goal?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you do a 2-hour call once per week, that means that you can do this thing you're talking about. You can do four people per week, right? 4 times 4 is 16. So you can do 16 people per week, per month. Okay. On a one call. How many calls are you doing now when you do these private one-on-one things? How many calls per week are you doing?
Kind of, it varies. I'm not sure.
But enough to burn you out?
It's more the people that are like, hey man, like this is hard. You know, the one they tried one time, they're going to send me a list. None of those products are good on the list. And it's the bitching, it's the moaning, it's the, this is hard. You know what I mean? And that's where I was wondering about, like, how do I work with a higher quality of person? You know what I mean? I feel like maybe
ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Get it out of your head. You're in biz op, bro. Ain't no high quality people in biz op. Just get that out of your head. Yeah, it's not possible. That's like saying, I'm a trauma therapist. I don't want to work with people that are fucked up. Like, bro, by the very nature of what you do, you work with people that are fucked up. Yeah. Like that needs delete. Okay. Like Control Alt Delete. Right. So you're going to work with that. Now, let me ask you this. Why don't you just train a coach to do these product validations and you don't do it at all?
The business is at a point where I would like want to pay somebody to do that.
What's more valuable to you, your time and your sanity, or paying somebody to do these calls and this research?
Yeah, I agree. My time. I know that.
Yeah. So look, here's what you do. You say to yourself, okay, I'm either going to switch to a group format and I'm going to figure it out, right? I'm going to reduce the amount of questions by creating forms, custom little AI bots. I'm going to do a weekly call or maybe even 2 weekly calls per week so that I'm less hours. Or you can keep the mentorship, the one-on-one angle, if you believe that that's important, and you can just hire somebody, work with one of our Amazon product coaches directly one-on-one. fine. Okay. But if you can train somebody to do that, you now release a huge amount of energy in your business that can now be redirected towards promotion. I mean, think about it like this. If you weren't so burnt out from doing the fulfillment, could you not do more ads, test more headlines, have more angles? Could you not do that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And if you did that, don't you think your cost per customer acquisition would go down like crazy?
Yep.
And if that happens, that means you can sell more and you can have more profit, correct?
Do you think that price point has a ceiling to do the group coaching? I feel like that's why I was really doing the one-on-ones. Number one is it just helps with success rate. And I think everybody, their scam wall is up super high, and it's like they've either already gotten burned or, you know, just the market is really tough. So they want, like, it helps with actually getting people results, that type of thing. And so that's why, like, I was kind of inching, like I used to do it 4,800, and then I kind of just bumped it to 58. And that's where I'm starting to see like the tension, you know what I mean? So I don't know if strictly group coaching, I'd have to sell that at a lower price, or is there a price ceiling?
I wouldn't say that the price point is so much directed towards what you deliver. It is, but it's more influenced by the market.
Yeah.
And I think 5 to 10,000 is a good price point right now. If you're seeing more tension at 58 than 48, then that's a good indication that right around 5 is good for you. Yeah. That's not to say you can't have a back end offer. Like, can you build a store for them for, say, 20,000?
Not a full done for you type of thing. I feel like that's those really expensive offers to do, like, just, hey, I'll do everything for you, and then, you know, we profit share.
No, don't profit share, because people won't do the work. They won't maintain. If you built it all out for them, what could you charge? Where would be worth it for you?
Probably like 40 grand plus.
Do you have anybody in your existing client base that you think would pay 40 grand and just have you do it for them?
No, I don't think so.
And why do you think that is?
I just don't think they have the money for that. Like, after talking with these people and getting them in, like, I kind of know their capital requirements, because you'll need 10 grand to even start the business, like with private label, you know what I mean? And so for them to invest like 40 or something, I just know they wouldn't be capable of it. It's more of a, like, okay, I'll pay for education / okay, I only have this bit to invest in the business.
Why don't you at least have a $10,000 or $15,000 mastermind? I guarantee you that there's a percentage of people in your audience right now that if they got closer access to you, or if there were some sort of meetings or events or something, they would pay more. They would pay 10,000 or 15,000 easy.
Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of where I had the idea of, like, hey, I'll do the product piece for you, like higher end offer. That I would probably do at 12 to 14K. And I offered it to actually my existing members a few days ago at 6 grand, just to do like half price to try to iron the systems out. And we had like 8 people that bought that day.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. On your next 10 sales calls, I want you to keep your price at 5,800 for what you sell now. But then I want you to offer this done for you option for, say, 10 or 12. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what I would do is I would say, listen, we have 2 options. One is we do it with you. One is we do it for you. Which one are you more interested in? They're going to say done for you. Almost all the time they say done for you. So then you drop the 12K price point. If they buy, great, fantastic, you're welcome. If they don't, then you downsell to the 5,800, which you should actually lift the conversion rate on that, because now 58 is being compared to 12 rather than being compared to nothing.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. Isn't the done for you a more compelling type of offer? And should I run traffic towards that, which it kind of does cut through the noise a bit? Maybe it attracts a certain type of person that maybe has more money, less time.
The beauty of what you have going on here is you're booking a call. So you can change the offer on the call, right? Okay. Yeah. So what you're leading with now is, hey, the difference between me and everybody else is they will just give you a course and some group coaching. I work with you personally. What you're saying is this new angle would be, hey, the difference between me and everybody else is I do it for you, set it up for you, validate the product, whatever, and then you go and sell it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so that might work, okay? But you really don't know until you test it. And if it takes you less than a day to put that together, do it and test it, okay? But for me, it seems reasonable that you could also offer that directly on the call. I'll give you an example, right? So we did this little experiment recently where we were selling people into my mastermind. And then we came up with a done for you offer that was actually half the price, less than half the price. Okay. Which you would think it'd be opposite, but again, it's a marketing experiment. So we found that we thought that more people were going to buy the done for you, which I am not involved in at all. My team does it. So for me, it's even better to do the done for you because I don't have to do anything, right? However, what we found was when people, because the way I have stuff set up is I don't do book a call. I do a paid text call. So they put down a $500 deposit. They get my number on WhatsApp. They text me and I close them right over the phone. This is what I do from my events, right? And then I also have one guy that will talk to people because I'm in Dubai. And so he talks to people on the other end of the time zone when I don't have time. But most of our sales come from me just closing them on text.
Yeah.
And what I do is I simply say, hey, were you interested in the done for you or the mastermind? Now they texted me for the done for you. But when I say, hey, were you interested in the done for you or the mastermind? They go, well, what's the mastermind? And then I go, blah, 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 blah. It's this. And they go, oh yeah, well that. And I swear to you, 90% of the people that I text, they text me for the done for you, they buy the mastermind.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to get so specific with the deliverables and this and that of your offer in your initial front end ad, right? That's part of the flexibility of this book a call formula to selling is that you kind of can pivot the offer without pivoting much of your marketing. Okay. So here's what I would tell you. Run an experiment with that leading. Maybe you're right. Maybe that will bring more people in and that will work. Okay. You just have a separate page, frame it as, look, instead of mentorship, we do it for you. Also, and you have to do this. You have to do all the suggestions I mentioned about the basic marketing, split test, angles, more realistic ads, because this is stuff that will instantly improve your business and you're just not doing it. And so I completely understand your idea of like, hey, how about I change the model? How about I change the deliverable? And this can definitely make sense for improving how you want to live your life in terms of fulfillment. But you're going to run into the same problem with that if you're not split testing headlines, you're not split testing videos, you're not changing. Like what happens if you take your phone and you just start pointing it at your computer of your Amazon store and talking, and those convert better than these fancy edited videos that you probably have to wait a week for?
Yeah.
Like, would that not completely change your business?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like these are small levers that you can pull that can open up a floodgate. So I agree with you that perhaps there's an offer change here, but in either case, you have to do these things.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is good news because like if you were doing all of these things, if you were like, Dan, I'm split testing all the headlines. I've got 5 different versions of my VSL with different intros. I've got realistic ads. I've got high production ads. I'm split test. I'm doing, and you still were struggling. Well, then I'd be like, well, bro, you got problems. Yeah. But you're not doing any of that. So you have so much opportunity here to improve this thing, even as it is, that I would view that as optimism. I would not view that as, oh my God, I've got this horrible problem and this sucks and my business is. No, I see potential here. I see good things. You know, most of the time when people come to me and they're doing a lot of things wrong, they think that's bad. No, I think that's good, because if you're even mildly succeeding doing that many things wrong, holy crap, you have so much potential. But if you're doing everything right and you're still not winning, well, then that's a deep issue. Get me?
Absolutely.